Okay. The second stage of the developmental model, as articulated by Schweitzer and King, is called disillusionment. And one little hint that you're starting to get there is that you start to experience emotions that you didn't necessarily expect. So there's no set time frame. It could be a couple weeks into your internship. It could be at the end of the whole first quarter has gone by. But you gather information about your setting and you get to know the people in your setting and you keep doing your courses. And then you may realize at some point that you're starting to feel angry or you're starting to be frustrated. You're maybe disappointed in people. So, for example, you may have previously been really excited about going to your internship a couple of days a week. And you really liked your supervisor, you were excited about the work you were doing, you were very hopeful about the internship, and you were thinking that you had made a good choice. You were really looking forward to being there. And so sometimes what happens is students have the feelings before they understand the feelings. So let's suppose that it just gets harder and harder to get out of bed on the days you're supposed to go to internship. You're not really sure what's going on because you're used to getting a lot of things done. Or let's suppose that you get close to the agency and you sit in your car and you realize that you're kind of disappointed about what's going on, that you don't feel like you're learning enough, or all you're doing is shadowing, or something like that. So you can take all 6 of those areas that we talked about earlier during the anticipation stage, what's going on with you yourself, with your clients, with your coworkers, with your supervisor, with the agency, with your greater life context, and imagine that at some point the rose-colored glasses, so to speak, as to how all of this was going to fit together, may be coming off. We liken it to a new relationship. So you meet someone and everything's great and you're telling everybody about this person and you're so excited to spend time together, and then you have your first fight. Disillusionment is like that. And again, because it can be so varied, for some people, it has nothing to do with the actual internship. It has to do with their life-school balance. So their children start having difficulty, or their partner says, I never see you anymore because you're always dealing with school, or something like that. So the important thing to remember about the disillusionment stage is that everyone has something. If nothing comes up, then you don't have anything to work with. It's really kind of boring. So pay attention. Keep track and check in with yourself. Take a little time before and after your internship to reflect on what you're feeling. And then begin to think about what might be at the root of that. What are those feelings? Can you identify them? If you know that you're angry, can you point to what you're angry about? Perhaps you found something out about the agency that wasn't apparent to you in the beginning, and you really don't like the way that they have to turn certain clients away, for example. Or you really don't like the way that they're funded. Or you start to see that some of the people you work with, you don't think treat the clients very well or talk about the clients very well. All those kinds of things are very common experiences for interns and can leave you walking away with a lot of self-doubt and wondering, what did I get myself into? Did I make a mistake and choose the wrong agency? Did I pick the wrong school program? Maybe I shouldn't have been a social worker. Maybe I'm not cut out for this work because it's just too exhausting for me. Whatever the questions and the self-doubts are, those are the things that I'm going to ask you to reflect on during this period. And if I could do anything to ease your fears around that, is to say that everyone goes through this. Everyone has what we call issues. And one of the goals during this particular stage of the model is to try to normalize that experience of feeling like something's not quite right. As you know from relationships that work out, friendships, marriages, parent-child relationships, just because you have areas of disagreement or just because you have experiences that aren't so good, ultimately the going through those and figuring out how to resolve them and how to learn from them is what really makes things better in the long run. So that's our goal for you during the disillusionment stage.